Hey there, it's Tim, and for my fourth fieldwork exercise, I did the fourth option, which was to analyze a serving opportunity. And for that, I went to our care center and choice food pantry. So with two sides of, two sides of the care center. One is a choice food pantry where people come and shop with points to get whatever they need. It's kind of a market style food pantry. And the people who come and shop, they have a personal shopper who goes with them and helps them. A lot of people who maybe come and shop don't speak English, so we try and have translators. And they just kind of walk with them and build a relationship, help them think about what they all might need for the week. People shop on points based on their need, and then the people who are walking with them pray with them and help them load up their groceries to care for them and build relationships. It's really powerful. And then there's a whole team of people who either work behind the scenes, stocking shelves, or doing checkout, or leading teams. It's a pretty incredible ministry. And then the other side of that is our co-op of care. People come in and go through a process, all our financial help for folks, whether that's job help or financial help or other forms of that sort of life mentoring type help, usually related to financial need, where people are out of work, and then it's become a co-op and a place of training and development. And again, people come in and they're mentored and cared for by someone. So it's just a great model. And the people who serve have built an incredible community together. They give an amazing amount of time to the ministry and to the people who are there. And a community is built among all of them. It's one family, whether you're there because you need help or you're helping people. A lot of people who are helping have received help, and it's really powerful. And so thinking through all of the aspects of community and hospitality is amazing. The whole system is built around dignity. Even like early on, we found that people were lining up to get in because we could only help like the first 100 people. And even if we were going to get everyone in, there was something about lining up that people who were coming for food would do. And so because not everyone can walk through at once, we even switched to just sort of a randomization. You would come, get a number. And that wasn't to punish anyone, but to create a system where you didn't feel like you needed to come early and wait outside in the heat or the cold. But there's just a lot of it that's about hospitality and care and dignity and love. So it's a huge part of the community. And then truth-telling, I think that's a huge part of the co-op is carefully and lovingly working with people who need to make some changes. I heard a story about a woman that needed to kick a dude out of her house. So she was living with a drug addict and it was ruining her life. And they said, well, to go to the next step of the food, of the care and the co-op, and really this would be a really good life decision. So they told her the truth, and she did it, and is moving ahead. It's awesome. And then promise keeping is huge, because if someone is coming for help, that community has to keep its promise of providing help. So it's really a big deal that we don't run out of food or supplies, or that if someone is asked to take a step, that whatever the response to that step is met, because people are coming desperate. Many times it's a last hope. So truth-telling, and then people telling the truth as they go through the process and feeling safe, feeling like they don't have to be dishonest about who they are or their situation to receive help. It's interesting, to the food pantry, there's no requirement other than you have to live within a certain radius, but you don't have to prove any need. Anyone who comes needing food can go through the choice food pantry. And then forgiveness, I don't know that, other than there is no, like I said, there's no litmus test on food. And so it doesn't matter. We know most people are actually really in poverty for not any fault of their own. But if someone is, it doesn't matter. We're going to help anyone in need. And for Christian formation, I think it's hard to read the Bible and not see about sort of God's differential care and love for the poor and the helpless. And so for those who serve, they're meeting God in Matthew 25. They're meeting Jesus in a unique way. There isn't necessarily Bible study, but the relational formation that comes out of it's pretty deep. Even though it isn't a Bible study in that kind of Christian formation. In terms of gratitude, I'm not sure there's a more vibrant culture of being grateful for what God provides than the care center. We don't do a lot of places do like a monthly or an annual food drive. It's every weekend. Our church is built, brings green bags every week people are challenged to bring green bags to provide for the pantry, and then every week people who serve, and every week people receive, and it just builds a culture of gratitude. And I think it's driven by the Care Center. The testimony of those who have been helped and that are being drawn into community, their baptism videos, they're engaging in the rest of the ministry of the church, really don't want it to be seen as this is what we do to help poor people outside the church, but this exists to serve the need in the community, that we might build the community of faith, but that we're all one community together. And so I think that's a huge part of it, which is really compelling. I think the big thing about it is that of all the environments I went to, the ones that were designed for community in sort of the traditional evangelical small group format didn't build as much community as this sense of a deeper mission to build, to reach the community, to draw people into the community of faith, and to have a bigger notion of who the church is and being on mission with God. That the result of that was amazing moments of community, and that these aspects are not found in a typical small group ministry. Let's be friends and sit at couches and eat pie and talk about what it might look like if we follow Jesus. But when people follow Jesus in ministry and in care and in love and or in faith, come and trust that the church will care for them, that deep community is built. So really powerful experience every time I get to interact with it. And I'm grateful to see how it connects to community. Thanks.